Hello everyone and welcome back to Overwatch 101. This is a series where I try to help people get better at Overwatch on console, because I'm a console player myself and I'm trying to look out for my homies. Alright, playing Overwatch on console can be kind of difficult sometimes. People say PC is the better platform to play on, but I don't know if I believe that. I quite like controller. Okay, so this is the spawn area, this is where you begin, okay? And we have 4 ways to leave, okay? We've got way number 1, way number 2, which is the main way, right? There's a third option over here, okay, kind of off to itself. And then there's upstairs, which is everybody's favorite spot on Dorado. Now, I would advise you to leave, believe it or not, I would advise you to leave through the top, okay? Now, the reason the top is the best place to come out is because it gives you high ground and you can see what they're working with to start with, right, before you even get far from spawn. I would not advise going out the right unless you're a flanker, because it puts you in low ground and it's dangerous. You could be knocked off. The left is also a decent place to go out to get a sneak on someone, but that's more for flankers. And plus you have the low ground, right, because you go up those stairs and there's a high ground over there, okay? So the left can be dangerous as well. And you never want to go right out front, because Bastions love to do this thing where they'll hide right there and they'll kill everyone and then they'll go regroup with their team and they'll be all cute and stuff, right? Well, if we're up here, okay, I can look down there like that and see that he's there and just be like, I don't think so, mister, right? And we all jump down and we kill him. We absolutely murder him. So you want to start up there, shield your teammates, get a look of the land, get a lay of the land, okay? Then if you see that there's nothing really going on here, then you get on the payload and you move it, all right? Now, of course, when you're coming through here, this is a tiny choke point, okay? It's pretty tiny. You could really have to watch this room here. Symmetras like to do all kinds of naughty stuff in here, okay? You also have to watch that corner there, and you have to watch up there, all right? And the way to get up there, the easiest way is to go back here, all right? And there's the stairs. It'll take you up there, all right? So you can sneak up on the sniper who's trying to kill everyone. All right. So if you went out the right side, by the way, it would take you up here. All right. Like I said, it can be sneaky if you're careful. But let's move on. So the payload's going to start moving down this road. All right. And the reason I turned payload off, the reason I'm just doing skirmish, is so I can give myself some extra time to explain things. Because my Watch Point Gibraltar video was a little rushed. The payload made me rush a little bit, but thankfully I covered pretty much everything I wanted to. So we're going to move through here, all right, being very careful. They will most likely be up there if they're a smart defense, okay? They will most likely be up there. So that's where most of your opposition is going to come from. But like I said in Gibraltar, you hide behind your payload, right? You push the payload, you hide behind it, and you move. You do have to watch out for this little corner over here, right? Make sure there are no threats here. Watch out for down there. All right, watch right there. Watch in there. You have a lot of ways to watch here, okay? And then you move on, okay? You watch through there. Hopefully you've moved them down from there, and you can move on. Now this is the next choke point you'll get to with your payload. This choke point can be really hard to push through, okay? This actually is one of the worst spots on Dorado to get through, but you just have to be aggressive. You just have to fight it out. You just have to kill them. You are fighting uphill, that is true, but that is where the skill comes in. That is where the skill is involved. You just have to kill them, okay? Because once you get up here, it's a lot easier. Now, this is a dangerous room. Okay, Symmetras love to be in here, specifically right here. Symmetras love to put their stuff right here. So if they've got a Symmetra and you know, because of the call out, right, that she's just putting up a teleporter or a shield generator, I would come look for it here first, right, because I see it here more often than anywhere else. All right, let's get back to the payload. All right, let's say we've pushed up this far. You do have to be very careful of over here. There are a lot of places they can be over here. They can be back that way, all right? They can be right there in that corner. They can be way over there trying to do naughty things from over there, right? And there's a big health pack back there. So that's actually a nice place to a nice place to fall back to if you need to get to get a nice health pack. Not very many people go back there. Okay, this is where most of the action is going to take place. You can also use this fountain for cover, right? This is a nice thing here in the middle to use for cover, but always be moving the payload. It'll move through here, it'll go right through here, and then there's the checkpoint. Okay. Now, you are going to, of course, get a lot of, flack from either side here, all right, at the very end. But screw it. You're going to kill these guys, and you're going to move along, and you're going to go through this checkpoint, okay? Now, number one thing you're going to see when you come through this checkpoint is people just being naughty up here, right? You're going to see this quite often, and people being naughty over here, all right? So when you move through, just be vigilant, okay? You see that up there, all right? Leave that to your flankers, okay? Let your flankers come up here, all right? Hell, you can even come with them if you want, okay, to try to dishevel these guys, right? You have to displace them, okay? You have to kill them, all right? You can't let them have that high ground, okay? And then you get back to the payload and you move, right? You move, you move, you move. All right, we're going to move through here. All right, now you got to really watch out for right there. They love to be right here. Bastions and stuff like to sit up here and do all kinds of nasty, naughty things, okay? You have to watch out for that little room right there. This is a room where they could be setting up, trying to hold in here, possibly. You got to watch for that. Okay. The number one thing you have to watch out for in this middle area is the high ground. Okay. Back there as well, believe it or not, you can get up there and you will see bastions and all kinds of naughty things back there. You have to watch out for your threats. Okay. Now, let's push through. All right. This little area right here is awful. This is awful to deal with, right? Because they might have that high ground right there. They could have high ground over there, right there. They could be there. They could be over there. They could be lots of places. Now, of course, it would be silly for them to be over there because they can't contest. But there is a large health pack right there, right? You see it right there. So you can be aware of that. There's also nice flanking routes for flankers, okay? But let's stick with the payload. Let's move it through. We just have to get through this low ground, right? This little bit of a choke. We just have to get through here and push uphill, okay? Now, it's going to be really hard getting through here, okay? It's going to be really, really hard getting through here. This is the hardest place to get through on the second choke point. But you just, second checkpoint. But you just have to do it. You have to get up here and get on an even playing ground with them. It's much easier from here on out. Do not get stuck down there, okay? Now, of course, they have a lot of high ground options to defend, right? They have tons of places they could be. Hell, they could even be in there, right? This is really a kill box area. So this is a dangerous place to be, okay? But it's less dangerous than being right there. Okay, we just have to be vigilant. We just have to look. We have to watch. We have to tell our teammates what's going on, okay, and where to be. You're not going to see a whole lot of activity in here, okay? So this is a nice place for flankers to go. You don't see a whole lot of action over here. So let's move this payload through the checkpoint. You will see a lot of action in this room. You actually see quite a bit of action in this room. Defensive flankers love to get around the team by going that way. So you do have to be careful of that. Now, we're going to move through the checkpoint here. This can be a pretty wicked choke to deal with, okay? But if the defense is smart, they won't be here, okay? This is a little too close, okay, to the attacking team's spawn, just a little bit. However, once you push past this right here, which the payload will do for you, that door will come down and the payload will come through, okay? And it'll be right here, okay? Then you have to push, okay? And this is absolute hell. Welcome to hell. This is one of the worst areas in the entire game to deal with. Okay, there could be all kinds of cheeky stuff going on in there, okay? This is just a way to get back to this room from the other little areas. They have a way to jump down from their spawn right there, okay? That's their old spawn, okay? Once you push past that point, they won't be coming from down here anymore, but you will have to check these rooms for Symmetra's teleporter and shield generator if you happen to hear it being set up, because they love to do it in their old spawn room, right? Because nobody ever checks. Now there's a big health pack over here, okay? But you don't really want to go this far off the payload, okay? We want to stay with the payload. Only go over there to get that if you have to, all right? So we move through here, okay? Constantly keeping a vigilant eye on flankers who like to try and go that way, okay? And that's where you're going to see a lot of your defense is in that high ground, okay? If you've pushed this far, all right? If you've managed to push the defense back this far, that's where you're going to see a lot of opposition is up there, in there, and right here, right? You're going to have to really push through here. You can kind of take control of this room. It's got a health pack. You can kind of take control in here, all right, so that you'll have a little bit of cover, okay? Move the payload, though. Always move the payload, all right? Some defenses like to set up over there with bastions and things like that. Some defenses like to, of course, be up here. This is actually going to be one of the hardest pushes of payload in the entire game is up here and then up there. You can really stall out right here underneath this bridge. This is one of the biggest stall out areas in the entire game. You just have to keep pushing. You just have to keep pushing, okay? Always push uphill. Always watch that flank right there because Maze and Bastions and defensive heroes love to come around and absolutely ruin the entire team with their ultimates and such, okay? So you really have to watch that flank right there. You're not going to see a whole lot of flank from up there, right? Because that's too far, right? The objective is right here. This is where you want the payload. So you're not going to see a whole lot of defenders trickling out from over there. It's mostly going to be here and back here, okay? You have to watch these ways. You have to be sure that nothing is going to come out. Now, of course, you always want to keep an eye on every way they could come. I just want you guys to know where you should focus, right? But you do want to keep an eye sometimes on these areas because bastions can come out here and start slaughtering everyone, okay? However, if you're a smart offensive team, you will use your payload for cover, right? So he's not really going to be able to do much over there if you're using your payload for cover, all right? So keep your focus here and your focus here and push as a team, be aggressive, get them off this payload, all right? Push them back into their spawn a little bit, but don't go in here. Do not go in here because you will most likely die if you come in here. This is too far, all right? Just push them back in here, right? Get them off of your payload and secure it, okay, for the win. This has been Dorado Payload Attack. I hope you enjoy. I hope that you see success with these tips. I'm trying my very best here to help everybody out on console. Hope you enjoyed. This is Overwatch 101, signing off.